Hello, I'm Christian from the Communities team at the National Football Museum. The museum's collection is packed with the history of the game of our lives. In this video, we'll be taking you through 11 museum objects related to football and footballers in other sports. Starting with the era of amateurism and a time where a sportsman could take a hat-trick one day and score a hat-trick the next. Our first object is this patch featuring the crest of the famous Corinthian Football Club. Over their history, Corinthian had over 80 England internationals, 3 of whom also represented England at cricket: goalkeeper and wicketkeeper Leslie Gay, multi-sportsman C.B Fry, and the only man to have captained England at both football and cricket, Tip Foster. Sticking with Corinthian Football Club, our second object is this figure of a footballer, said to be the great all-round sportsman of the time, C.B Fry. Fry's list of sporting achievements are too long to feature here, but alongside representing England at football and cricket, he excelled at high jump and equalled the world long jump record of 7.17 metres in 1893. Not content with just 3 sports, Fry turned out for Oxford University and Barbarians at Rugby Union and was described as the good old man of sport upon his death in 1956. Another footballer who excelled in athletics was Arthur Wharton. Wharton's legacy today is primarily as the world's first black professional footballer, but he was also a keen sprinter. Object 3 is this Baines card featuring Wharton and acknowledging his equalling of the world record for the 100-yard sprint in 1886. Wharton played as an amateur for several clubs, but it was with Sheffield United in the 1894-95 season where he became the first black professional footballer in England's top flight. Our fourth object represents more crossover in the early history of football and cricket. A print of the famous Preston North End Invincibles, who won the league and cup double in 1888-89. Preston are one of several clubs that can trace their roots back to cricket, football initially being introduced as a winter activity in the off-season of the summer sport. Sheffield Wednesday, Fulham, Derby County and Everton can also find their roots in local cricket clubs, eventually opting for football. In fact, it wasn't just in England where cricket and football combined. In Italy, both AC Milan and Genoa began by playing both sports. AC were initially named Milan Football and Cricket Club, formed by British expats Alfred Edwards and club legend Herbert Kilpin. Our fifth object is 100 years later, however, this copy of FourFourTwo Magazine from March 2001, featuring another AC Milan legend, Paolo Maldini. Albeit brief, Maldini also featured professionally in another sport, qualifying for an ATP tennis doubles tournament in 2017. Changing sports, our sixth object belonged to the Babe Ruth of football, trying to beat Babe Ruth at his own sport. A Liverpool National Baseball League Division II winners medal belonging to Everton legend Dixie Dean. Having matched Babe Ruth's 60 home runs in a season with 60 goals of his own, folklore has it that Dean met Ruth at a football match in the 1930s. Former Everton chairman John Moores was an avid baseball fan and created this local league that Dean and several Everton players would play in during the summer months. Indeed, football and baseball's connections in this country go some way back. The National Baseball League, formed in 1889, featured 4 teams all linked to football clubs, and England's star of the day Steve Bloomer even featured for Derby. Baseball featured often at football grounds through the first half of the 20th century. This Chelsea programme produced for a touring match between the New York Giants and Chicago White Sox in 1914. Object 7 sees us return back to cricket playing footballers and the unmatched double from West Ham keeper Jim Standen, the programme for the 1964 FA Cup final, which saw Standen and West Ham victorious over Preston North End. Whilst the rest of the Hammers squad took a well-earned break, Standen joined up with Worcestershire for the county cricket season. Over the next 3 months, Standen took a championship-leading 52 wickets at an average of just 14.42 as the pairs won the county championship. Standen's unique FA Cup and county championship double in 1964 will never happen again and is definitely worth greater recognition in the history of English sport. With growing demands and overlapping schedules, dual sports people have become rarer in recent decades, but there have been some notable exceptions. Object 8 is the programme from Ian Botham's Benefit match versus Manchester United during Beefy's unremarkable spell as a centre-back in the lower reaches of the Football League at Scunthorpe United. Botham had previously played non-league at Yeovil Town and appeared 11 times in the Football League for the Iron, but has gone down as one of England's greats in cricket and not in football. England's last football and cricket dual international is the focus of Object 9. This squad sheet from the 1995 Women's World Cup, featuring centre-back Claire Taylor. Taylor combined her football duties with playing cricket for England and Yorkshire, and was an integral part of the 1993 World Cup winning squad. 2 years later, she represented England in their first World Cup in football, and appears in several photos in the museum's collection. In the Lionesses group game against eventual tournament winners Norway. Taylor also had a distinguished club career at Knowsley and Liverpool, and was awarded an MBE in 2000 for her services to women's sport. Our 10th object references not a player trying a different sport, but a whole club. Several Manchester United programmes from 1986 and 1987 that include features on the short-lived Manchester United Red Devils basketball team, likely inspired by the success of multi-sports clubs across Europe, most notably Barcelona and Real Madrid. Manchester United bought the Wharton Vikings in 1985 and became national champions the following season. This led to United playing basketball giants Sabona and Real Madrid across the road from Old Trafford at a sold-out Stretford Leisure Centre. The team merged with their rivals across the city, Manchester Giants, and was sadly short-lived. There have been other football club crossovers into basketball in this country, most notably when then Newcastle United owner Sir John Hall purchased Newcastle Comets, renaming them Newcastle Eagles, and later the 2007 formation of the short-lived BBL team, the Everton Tigers. Our final object is this Manchester City programme from 1989, featuring then star striker Clive Allen. Allen's 17-year career in football saw him net 194 goals, but he was kicking very different goals for a season in 1997, having signed as a place kick of the London Monarchs NFL Europe team. The highlight of Allen's time in American football was likely converting all 3 of his field goal attempts in a 16-8 win against the Scottish Claymores at Stamford Bridge, a stadium he was playing association football at just 5 years earlier. So that's our 11 museum objects on the topic of football and footballers in other sports. But what players and stories would you include? And do you have an idea for a future episode of First 11? Let us know in the comments. Find these and thousands of other objects in our online collection at nationalfootballmuseum.com. Drop this video a like and subscribe for more football history content.